I'm brewing in the brand new One Saga metagame, and I saw a legacy deck that caught my eye. Phyrexian Dreadnoughts back with a new and improved Stifle and Consigned to Memory. I gotta try it in Vintage. Welcome back, Vintage Gamers, to a challenge, Saturday challenge. Trying out an idea, a theory. I saw this deck over in Legacy, and I felt like some of the core pieces lined up really well into the current Vintage metagame. So, this is a Stiflenought, Phyrexian Dreadnought deck. One of the biggest upgrades from Legacy is you get to play Lurrus. Lurrus is super strong, especially with blue-black being the main color of the other Lurrus decks. You can like rebuy your Dreadnoughts. I really like the new combo pieces in the deck. Consigned to Memory is a very applicable card in a main deck for Vintage. Being able to stop triggers or colorless spells. Lots of colorless spells in Vintage at the moment, especially decks like Jewel Shops. Main deck Consign being searchable off of Merchant Scroll should be a nice little versatile piece. Obviously, Dress Down has been great in Vintage for a long time, though obviously it gets a little bit worse now that there are not 4 sagas running around in every deck. And then I do like the Doorkeeper Thrall in the current state of Vintage as well. Flash Flying, making it so Jewels don't trigger, Initiative doesn't trigger. Lots of actually really good things are stopped by this card right now, so I kind of like this piece as well. Yeah, Stifle is definitely a card of the past. This Consign is a much better card to be playing in your Vintage deck at the moment. Obviously, there are lots and lots of pieces that negate the Phyrexian Dreadnought ETB, which is the whole point. This Thrall or the Consign or the Dress Down are going to make it so you don't have to sacrifice anything for your 12/12 tripler for 1 mana. But I think Dress Down, Thrall, and Consign are definitely the best among them these days. We're going to still play a full set of Wastelands, Strip Mine, and 1 Saga. Got a couple basics in our deck, which is really nice. And we're a 4 Swords deck, which I think is quite valuable in the current state of Vintage. Lots of creatures running around in almost every deck. I really like trying to be a deck that plays Swords to Plowshares right now. Anything else? We do have Ponder unlocked, which is a change since the last time I played this deck. 4 Ponder lets us get closer to the Legacy Shell with Ancestral Brainstorm, 4 Ponder, Probe, kind of filling in that gap that is missing with the restriction of Brainstorm. Got some Lorien Reveals as well. Just, classic restricted blue cards. Sideboard, I'm choosing not to play black. You could probably splash black in this deck, but I would rather just keep my mana base safer. And I'll just play 2 Tabernacles, some different Graveyard Hate, the full set of 4 Containment Priests for Oath and Dredge. Oath was the biggest deck in yesterday's challenge, so having 4 Containment Priests should be really, really strong there. And I've always really liked the first Seal of Cleansing in Lurrus decks. We are a Merchant Scroll deck, and kind of a combo-oriented deck. I like the idea of the first Hurkyl's Recall in case we find a Shop's opponent. Also doubles up pretty reasonably against Jewel Shops. And then I have a Flusterstorm to help with a Doomsday matchup, which I think will be a little bit on the harder side, though we do have Consigns, Dress Downs, and Thralls, which are actually really good against Doomsday. So maybe, even though we don't have a ton of counter magic, our anti-Oracle cards might be good enough to make the Doomsday matchup pretty feasible. But still, in that case, we have 2 extra anti-combo cards. I do have additional Null Rods just because I just want to make sure that Jewel doesn't beat us. I don't really dislike losing to Jewel, so I always try to make sure I have those as well. But I think a creature matchup, we should look pretty good with 12/12s and swords. I feel like combo matchups, we have blue counters, cantrips, and different kinds of anti-Oracle and that kind of anti-Jewel cards. So this deck just feels to me on the surface level like a very nice slot in and answer into the current metagame, and kind of a Lurrus deck that might go over the top in the mirror. So That's my theory, anyways. Haven't played any games with the deck. Haven't tuned the deck besides just theory crafting, so we'll have to see. Another nice part about this deck is it's probably one of the better uses of 5 Moxen. Obviously, you have off-color Moxen here, but you can use them for Lorien, for Dreadnought, for Thrall, for Dress Down. I actually think this is one of the better looking off-color Moxen decks as well. So that's my theory. We'll see how it goes in today's Vintage Challenge. Round 1, Vintage Challenge with our Lurrus Dreadnought deck versus Vanquish. Good luck, have fun. On the play, I have a cat. Opponent does not have a cat. I have a Force, Probe, Sapphire, Strong Hand. Classic Sapphire Saga hand. Reliving the glory days. I like the idea of probing, seeing what's up here, and then working from there. We have the ability to ponder, keep 1 card, and shuffle away bad cards as well, which is just very nice. See what opponent's got first, though. Huh. My opponent is playing some kind of Fastbond deck. Riftstone Portal, Yavimaya, Crop Rotation, Exploration, and Perennial Behemoth. These are not ETBs, so the Doorkeeper Thrall doesn't exactly help us here. If I just counter Crop Rotation for Wasteland, though, my opponent's hand doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. Also doesn't have a 3rd land, so can't go turn 1, you know, like Collector Oof for my Saga. So I'm gonna go Sapphire, Ponder, Ancestral Wasteland Dress Down. Yeah, I would like those magic cards. I really wanted to get a Saga going immediately, but I guess I still theoretically could. I just feel like waiting on this Dress Down doesn't seem, or waiting on this Ancestral doesn't feel like it makes any sense. So let's just cash in our draw 3. And go from there. I will not be countering any explorations. Just this crop rotation likely. Yavimaya, exploration. Riftstone Portal does not make green mana, so kind of awkward. What do I even Merchant Scroll for? Oh, it does make green mana because of Yavimaya. That's kind of cute. Drew a Fastbond for turn. I don't think that matters. And then I just Wasteland the Yavimaya, and they're out of green mana. I feel like a Fastbond doesn't matter here at all. So I just play a Wasteland the Yavimaya. What can I Merchant Scroll for? A Dig Through Time? Guess I'd rather just... Does a Lurrus do anything? I guess this thing has flash, huh? It's kind of crazy. I don't really feel like my cards do anything at this point. I guess I'll just pass. My opponent's cards do less, so... Just gonna flash this in. And I'm gonna hold the Lorien to pitch to Force. Negation seems pretty good as well. Let's get a Saga going. I guess I can't cast Dig. Definitely cashing in this Merchant Scroll. Triggers or colorless spells. I guess that counters Behemoth, but they're so far from a Behemoth. Mental misstep. What if I just get a mental misstep? I mean, I have double counter already. I'm just never using dig through time, right? Because I'm just... I guess I theoretically could get dig and then Lorien revealed. Yeah, it's probably still just dig. So I can use this Lorien revealed to get my third land, and then I should be able to use dig through time and... Okay, they drew a wasteland for my saga. It's pretty good. It's a little frustrating, but... it's not too big a deal. Ponder. I feel like I just want to find double Dreadnought and win the game, right? Do I have anything that uses the graveyard? Just Lurrus. I found no Dreadnoughts. Wasteland could be good later. It's definitely not good right now. I feel like I'm gonna take a Wasteland and a Consign. I guess a Force is like better than a Consign. Consign counters a Behemoth out of the yard if they like draw a Bazaar. I definitely am taking this Wasteland in case they draw a Bazaar. I guess I could always dress down. I already have a dress down though. All these cards are just very medium. I'll just take a Force. I still think I want to ponder and try to find a... I just want to find a Dreadnought, really. I don't think I need a Swords either. Hey, there we go. Oh, it's Unearth? Okay, you're right. Consign does not counter Unearth. I was thinking of an colorless spell. My bad. Justin listed. I dug and didn't find one, and then pondered and didn't find one, and then I had to shuffle all of it back in. And all right. Well, I don't have Containment Priest is definitely terrible here. Seal looks good. Negation looks good. Lantern looks good, but I don't have like the Exit Jailers or Ley Lines, which is actually kind of bad. Needle's probably good. How many swords do I want? I need to cut 4 magic cards. It's gonna be like 1 Consign, 1 Probe, 1 Swords. Two Swords? Like, what do I care about swordsing? 2020s if they make 2020s? I don't know if they make 2020s or not. You know what? Maybe I'll cut an Emerald, actually. They have, like, oofs and stuff. I could always cut, like, Emerald and Ruby. It's kind of an interesting idea. I definitely wish I had Ley Lines. Ley Lines would definitely be something that would disrupt their game plan. I assume they're going to do, like, different kind of Fastbond, Crucible, Bazaar loops is what I assume is happening. But it's not exactly easy to tell what's happening over there. Seal should be good for sure. Needle should be good for sure. Lantern's good for sure. And Negation's good for sure. So at least we have some stuff. I gotta be careful of Vigor on my Dreadnought or like on my Dress Down. Thanks, Water. cat. I have a cat. Definitely, I'm looking for a hand that has a force. Is this good enough? Like, if my opponent has a Fastbond 7, can I really win with this hand? Is my problem. I have 6 forces and a misstep post board. Like, if they deploy a Fastbond and have a Bazaar, then, like, Ancestraling doesn't really do anything. Like, even if I find a force after Ancestraling, Wasteland might be too late. I don't even have a Wasteland in my opening hand. I just think this hand might be just too bad. Unless their goal is make a 20/20, in which case I have a Swords of Plowshares, so the hand is great. I don't feel like their goal is make a 20/20, though. Alright. I'm gonna mulligan the hand. Even though it has an Ancestral. I mean, what if they just go like Exploration? I'm never countering Exploration anyways. Exploration's a very odd one. Normally you just play 4 Fastbond and that's it. Exploration is different. Alright, I'm gonna try keeping it. I could see this going really poorly. Bizarre. Crop rotation. Oh, Elvish Reclaimer Loam. Okay, that's like really fair. I was expecting something a little more. Should I Wasteland now? Or do I want to Ancestral and give them another Bizarre activation? I really need to draw a counterspell. This is the problem, right? I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to not Wasteland this Bizarre right now. There's a lot of green pip spells. They dredged the Loam. Put a Riftstone Portal in the yard. It's pretty good. Now their Bizarre can actually make mana. Okay, so it is Dark Depths. All right, so did I keep 4 swords in? I kept 4 swords in. That's good. I really do not want a Fastbond to resolve. So I'm going to cast Ancestral Recall. Okay, Fastbond resolves. Hope they don't have a Wasteland. Man, this Riftstone Portal was a really strong hit, huh? Just turns on both of these as mana sources. I only have 1 Soul Guide Lantern in my deck. This looks like a really good start for them and a very poor start for me. But I did hit Wastelands, which are not bad here. I'm really worried about, like, discard Perennial Behemoth. It'll be hard for me to interact with that. I guess I can Swords it. I can't really Swords it unless they have a trigger. I guess Fastbond gives triggers. So they got rid of Lotus, which is interesting. They have Loam, right? Oh, they have Wasteland too, and they have Loam. Wow. This could be really bad for me. So their last card is Loam, and I can't really get them off of Loam. How do I play the game then? I have 2 Force of Negations, but my Ancestral basically drew me no valuable cards, right? If they didn't hit Riftstone Portal, then it wouldn't be a problem. But the fact that they hit the Riftstone Portal, it's a huge problem. I don't even think Wasteland's good at any point here. I'm just Wasteland locked with Loam at the moment. I'm gonna run out of Tundras too. If I were them, I would cast Loam on the Wasteland and then dredge the Loam. Maybe play all my lands out. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of why I wanted to mulligan my hand. But I don't know. It just seemed like it might be fine. Maybe I was supposed to Wasteland the Bazaar in the first turn. I don't know. They took the... Yeah. Yep. Now you loot, you Bazaar, and you dredge your Loam. Put the Riftstone back in there. Oh, they hit the Behemoth too. So they have the loop now where they can go Wasteland the Bazaar and then replay the Bazaar and then re-Wasteland the Bazaar and dredge their deck. Next turn, maybe? I don't know. It depends on how many lands they have here. Oh, did I need to actually hold up Fetchland Swords? Okay, I actually needed to hold up Fetchland Swords. Wow. Okay, my bad. I needed to hold up Fetchland Swords for this Perennial Behemoth because I can always Swords the Behemoth because of the Fastbond triggers. Tabernacle, Chasm. I mean, they can't win the game on the same turn, right? They can strip mine my island, but... See, this is what I was worried about, keeping my hand. My Ancestral really failed me in this game. Well, they can't kill themselves with Fastbond because of the Chasm. I want them to play this out, though. Just want to see exactly... Well, we can kill the 2020 during their attack, unless they... I guess if they put 2 Wastelands in play, we can't do that. Well, they have a Horizon Canopy. Wow. Okay. I don't think there's any way we can win this game. We basically needed to draw the counterspell off the Ancestral that I talked about for the Fastbond. I mean, this game, it's really frustrating, though, because this game was only bad for us because they hit on their first Bazaar, they hit a Riftstone portal. If there was no Riftstone portal, they wouldn't have had anywhere close to enough mana to do things. The Riftstone portal was so broken here. This is also my fault, though. I should have played a fetch land, so I could have Swords the Behemoth, which would have given us extra time. I mean, then we don't have a Swords for the 2020, so it's problematic in its own right, but... I should have mulliganed my hand, which is what I thought was going to be the case when I started this, but... Alright, triple Wasteland. They need to replay their Stage in Depths so that they're untapped. Chalice on 1, sure. Yeah. All right, well now I'm just gonna concede. Oh, I do have a Caracas actually. Chat. Okay. Oh, I guess Consign will be better if they're doing Dark Depths stuff. Definitely like all my swords now. Dress down's a little bit worse. Okay, I mean, I played that game badly, right? The most important part of that game was mulliganing, and I didn't mulligan the hand I should have mulliganed. I got entrapped by the Ancestral Recall. Needle, Wasteland, Dress Down, Dig. Needle, Wasteland, Dress Down, Dig. Needle, Wasteland, Dress Down, Dig. I mean, we could Needle Bazaar. Is that really good enough, though? Well, there's like different ways you can go about it. Like, it's not exactly... I don't know. This hand just doesn't seem very good either. Can I just have a hand with a mental misstep? Ah, come on, game. Give me a hand that plays Magic. All right. How do I put 2 cards back here, though? Swords and... Swords and Pearl? Really? This is the kind of hand we were looking for on 7. Sure. I put back my swords. No, I don't think I want to force this. I don't want to force this card. I just wish I had my swords back. How about a swords? A Dreadnought and a Dig Through Time. I don't want these magic cards. I don't even want one of these magic cards. Hey, that's the one I wanted. Four swords metagame, baby. God, if we just get 2020'd after this. Oh, is this Loam? Oh, it's so bad for me. I have 2 negations, but I just can't seem to locate them in time. I think I have to go get a basic. I mean, this is so bad. I think we just lost. Like, I think our hands have just not been good enough to beat this. Double Wasteland? Oh, we're super dead, man. We're so dead. We're just Wasteland locked. Maybe I should have fetched basic planes, I guess. That was my fault, though. I should have fetched basic planes off of this Flooded Strand. I didn't even consider it. I mean, I played badly again and lost because of it, so... Maybe this Force of Will was just terrible keep, and I should have put the Force of Will on the bottom. I mean, I'm completely Wasteland locked in this game, so I just need a 12-12. Oh. I think I just played awful, right? I had lots of choices that would have been very good in this game. I just kind of bottomed all the wrong cards, maybe. And I didn't fetch a basic. I had a Flooded Strand. I could have fetched a basic Plains, and we would be fine. Now they have a Bazaar and a Behemoth? And they can play the Behemoth? I have a Seal of Cleansing, I guess. Oh, what's a basic Plains? It's really bad for me. It's really, really bad for me. Wait, did they not cast Loam? Why didn't they cast Loam? Am I missing something? They just like would overdraw or something? I don't know. Why wouldn't you cast Loam there? Yeah, I mean the one that I really the one play that was incredibly bad was the fetching not a basic Plains. I didn't even consider getting Loam locked. I don't know why, but I didn't. I feel like this has to be a tempo kill this or counter this. The problem with the tempo counter that is if I get Vigored. They have a Tabernacle. I think I need to fetch a basic plane because I want to be able to tap this. I mean, a Dreadnought off the top, and they don't have a... It's another basic, at least. Though the basics that I'm going to fetch for don't play Lurrus. Not that Lurrus does anything here. Also, if they just, like, play a Dark Depths, I lose, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't have any negations for their Loam. It just didn't... and then my sideboard cards are just not good against this. Like, I need a Ley Line of the Void. Really frustrating. Sure. I think we're just dead. I don't think we have any way to stop their engine at this point. Kind of a frustrating set of games. I mean, this is what can happen when you try to play a deck to beat the metagame. If someone just shows up with their favorite Dark Depths, can be a problem. I don't think we have any outs at this point. I don't really know what we could hit. I guess Ancestral into Time Walk. Brainstorm. I don't think I would. It's not good enough though, right? They just make a 2020. I don't know. Things did not work out. Let's put it that way. My 6 and 7s were just not good. They have a Beseiju, so we can't do anything. We need like a I guess they had Yavimaya too. I mean, we don't have actual gameplay here. I don't think Ancestral Swords actually wins the game though. It just loses the game longer. it just slowly slows me down as I lose. I don't have gameplay. I just don't have any gameplay here. I don't think my fetch would have mattered, and I'm not really saying that my, like the choices I made in the beginning of this game in terms of which cards to keep were like reasonable, but they like lined up extremely poorly. Oh, they had vigor too. Okay, so we were simply never ever winning the game. This is a lot better for me than my opponent using Beseiju, so. I mean, we're dead, but very frustrating. My triple basic deck getting Wasteland locked is always a classic, but again, I didn't fetch the basic, so it's kind of my fault. Like if I get a Soul Guide Lantern this turn, maybe it's enough. Land Soul Guide Lantern. They still just have Loam Lock, so. I guess this consign really does nothing against what they're trying to do here. Because it just re-triggers. Yeah. So we just have no gameplays? No gameplays? I guess like, oh, they just rebuy a Wasteland though. I just don't have the. I mean, I have the tools to deal with this technically. Like I have some tools for this, but I don't have enough of them, right? Like I have 2 negations, which I need to have exactly negation versus Loam. I have a Soul Guide Lantern, but I only have 1 Soul Guide Lantern because I'm playing a ton of Containment Priest, but Containment Priest doesn't interact with this kind of graveyard deck. It's just what can happen when someone you try to play a deck that beats a meta, and this deck is just not in the meta. Hall of Heliod's Generosity. Okay. So he's gonna put the Fastbond back on top. I see. Yeah. I mean, I never register more than 2 negations. I think they're pretty poor in general into the field, but negation is definitely at a premium in this matchup, as would Leyline of the Void. I don't know if I would ever register my opponent's deck right now with there being so many Dredge decks in the field, but whatever works. All right, well, none of this beats Fastbond, so yeah, it is what it is. I could have played that better, but I'm not sure playing it better would have resulted in a win, so. Okay, on to round 2. Hopefully, I will have a better matchup spread and a cat and play better. All of those things can be true. I got some counter magic here. I got some fast mana. Almost a full turn 1 Lurrus. This hand is bad against Bazaar. My opponent did not reveal a Lurrus, though. That is true. My hand is probably good against Jewel. And it's fine against Lurrus. That's probably it. All right, I'm gonna keep. My hand has mana and spells. Please do not play turn 1 Bazaar of Baghdad. It's gonna be one of those tournaments, I guess. it's gonna be one of those tournaments, I guess. God bless. Double Dredger, Hollow One. Draw Wasteland off the top. Oh, I have a turn 1 Lurrus at least. I don't know if that's good, but I'm not playing around Mindbreak Trap. You think I got time to do that? My opponent played turn 1 Bazaar of Baghdad. They won the game. They won the game. Yeah, I mean, they have a counter, they have a counter. What do you want me to do? Buy a Lurrus and pass with the negation up? I guess I could do that. But, like, does Lurrus matter, though? Like, if they counter Lurrus, is that even bad for me? Like, what's Lurrus doing? I guess it's blocking a Hollow One. But, like, I guess this Thrall would stop Prized Amalgam, right? Maybe I will. Oh, I wanted to order this in the other way, but I got talking to chat. I wanted to go Lotus second. Maybe I should just buy Lurrus and pass. I don't feel like that's good though. Yeah, yeah, I'm doing all right. Like, if I buy Lurrus and pass, and then I need to play Thrall on their turn, is that good? Like, yeah, I guess that is good. My bad. My bad. No, that's my fault. I probably should have just done the passing. I thought it wouldn't do anything, but I kind of think it would have been pretty reasonable to pass the turn there. And then on the next turn, like, if they don't do anything again, I can play Lurrus with negation up, negate the force, and then replay Lotus. It might have been good. I kind of just... I hung up the towel too early, I would say. But I am probably 90+% to lose the game, so there was a reason. But yeah, I had some gameplay here that I could have probably played through that I chose not to. Oh, am I just gonna get like Vigored too? That'd be pretty funny. The problem is, like, it's so hard to make myself focus when I keep entering these games with like 5% chance to win. All right. Well, I didn't really get punished here so far. But I guess if they hit like they have a Dredge 5. If they hit an Archimedes, I get punished. They didn't hit an Archimedes yet. All right, that was like a really not the greatest set of Dredgers, but they did hit 3 Icarids, so it's also not good for me. I can counter a Creeping Chill. I don't think this is winnable, even if I like drew a Wasteland right now. Keep drawing off-color Moxen. Well, I guess I could replicate if they hit like multiple things. Could be interesting. But I'm not beating 3 Icarids, though. I just died at 3 Icarids. Oh, man. Like, maybe I don't even want to show them all these cards that I have. But how much of these cards am I even keeping in when I'm boarding in, like, Quadruple Containment Priest? Definitely can't stop this Prize Amalgam from coming in either. Oh, I guess I could have flashed this in before the Icarids to do that. Yeah, I should have done that. Oh, they didn't even activate, which means they have another force in their hand. That's crazy. So their hand was 7 cards, double force, double dredger. All right, well, my bad. The only reason you wouldn't activate on upkeep in response to the Icarid triggers is you wanted to keep your 2 cards in your hand. So it means my opponent has force blue card, because there's no other combination of things that would have made sense there. I guess I don't have enough cards in my yard to cast this dig either. I guess I don't have double blue mana either, so my opponent has another force in their hand. Yeah, I'm not going to show them my cards here. Let's just go to the next game. There were definitely a bunch of different things I could have done to get minute advantages in that game, but I don't think any of them would have mattered, unfortunately. I do have a lantern, and yeah, I have 8 cards for Dredge, so that's pretty good. I don't feel like I need these Dreadnought stuff at all. Consign actually seems okay, though. I feel like the Dreadnought stuff doesn't really make any sense. I just want to play Containment Priest Control, but I guess Negation's terrible, so I don't really need islands and plains and stuff. Dress Down is terrible, so I'm gonna have to pick some of these cards to keep and some of these cards to get rid of. So I definitely want, I don't know, 2 of them. Like, if I'm keeping Consign in, how many things do I need to keep in here? Don't really know the answer to that. Something like this. I don't know what the numbers I'm allowed to do are. Actually, I kind of want Flusterstorm, so I'm like just playing the control game here. I'm gonna board like all the cards up in my deck that matter to against normal Magic decks don't matter because we're playing against Dredge. So I just have to board all the cards that are part of my deck's identity out and just board in 10 anti-Dredge cards and make the game entirely about the anti-Dredge cards, which is, you know, kind of the biggest issue with Dredge existing as a huge metagame player. Like, if someone would argue, you know, oh, Vexing Bauble doesn't let people do the things they want to do in Vintage, Dredge does that on a level that is extremely, extremely oppressive. But it's part of the spirit of the format, so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have to keep double Wasteland, no Containment Priest. Pretty sure this is just, you have to keep this. It's definitely better on the play where I can get mana going. Wish I had like a Ponder, though. They kept a 7-carder again. Should be illegal. Triple hollow one. Probably have to force a hollow one in this current spot, which is a little unfortunate. 1 Dredger. The good news is that they were relying on Noxious. They've got so many forces. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure we're actually better off casting Containment Priest. When would we cast Containment Priest? Would we let them try to Dredge? But if we don't activate Wasteland, they'll just Dredge naturally. I guess if they miss a Dredger on their Dredge naturally for draw step, it's really bad. I'm not actually sure of the optimal sequencing here. The thing I'm most worried about is if I wasteland my opponent, and say we don't even have to counter Nox Trial. Say they just go untap and play a second Bazaar. they activate their second Bazaar, and we don't have time to play a Containment Priest. I feel like that's the worst case scenario. Whereas if we just play a Containment Priest, nothing really bad can happen. I don't know if I want to play one right now, because if I play one now, I'm opening myself up to getting like negated afterwards, or like, I get, I just, it's mostly just like they use a spell, I force it, they have a negation. I'm actually not sure. I just don't know when the optimal timing is here. It's just, if I don't wasteland them, they 100% know I have a Containment Priest, right? There's just nothing else I could have. Waste is good in every scenario that doesn't involve them having a second Bazaar in hand. But look at the cards they discarded. They discarded Force of Will, Serum Powder, Thug. If this doesn't scream second Bazaar, I don't know what else would. They didn't have a Hollow One. They didn't have a Grief. They pitched a Force of Will. The only thing that makes sense to me is like they would have pitched a Dredgers, like Noxious Revivals, more counter spells, Vigors, or a second Bazaar. I'm going to cast Containment Priest on my turn. I don't think wait for upkeep is good, because if I wait for upkeep, then they get to like know and try to like find more counter spells and stuff in response. They can like activate in response and not dredge, or they can dredge maybe. I don't know. Oh, they had Sickening Shoal pitching, Creeping Chill. Force pitching, Lorien. See, this is like turns on their negation, right? That's the thing that was like the worst part about playing on my turn. They have 4 cards left. I mean, they would have to have either a counterspell and a blue card and a Mindbreak Trap, or a counterspell and a blue card and a counterspell and a blue card, or a counterspell and a blue card and a counterspell and another black and blue. They pitched another Force. I think I was supposed to maybe just play on upkeep then. So they don't dredge. They need to find another Sickening Shoal, basically. Yeah, I'm not really convinced my timing window was correct. Sadly. The good news is I can buy a Lurrus. And I can play it because I drew exactly on Color Pearl. They have a Noxious. I felt like a Noxious was pretty likely as well. So. Yeah. Oh, they're going to Noxious back the Sickening Shoal. Okay. They can dredge the Thug for a black card if they need one. But I have a Lurrus. So they have... Oh, they had second Bazaar and Sickening Shoal and Noxious and Force blue card. Shit. Okay. So, I mean, I had the right read. And they just happen to have all of the things. So I would have gotten like really screwed over by by wastelanding, right? All right. The good news is I think I'm still fine because I have a Lurrus here and they're out of cards. They have 1 Icarid and 1 Dredger, and I have a Containment Priest coming next turn. So I'm pretty sure we're still winning this game, but it was kind of interesting spot. I'm lucky that I drew 2 Wastelands, huh? Just many games decided on the Wasteland life. Are they dredging? They chose not to dredge. Or if we didn't have Lurrus. Sure. Okay, that was something. Was definitely something. I should probably cut like at least one of my basic lands. But like, what do I even want to play? Another Thrall. I guess the basic plains is like probably better than the second basic island in this spot, which is interesting. We have so many white cards because we bring in 4 containment priests. So are they gonna keep a 7 on the play here? That would be bad for me. Don't have any ley lines, so gonna have to draw a really strong one. Ugh. I mean, they haven't mulliganed yet. Why do you think they would mulligan now? All right, I got a needle and a priest and an ancestral. Doesn't get a lot better than that. A mox, like a lotus, is obviously one of the better ones. They mulled the 6 at least. That's a step up from the last games. They powdered a 6. They powdered away 2 shoals. They powdered another 6, powdering away a force. They mulled a 5. They mulled a 4. Riveting gameplay. This is why we all tune in to the vintage stream, so that we can see if Dredge mulligans. Perfect. Mulled a 3. We are using all of the skill in our inventory here to outmaneuver our opponent. All right, they kept a 3-card hand with a Bazaar and a pass. I am going to fetch the basics here. Just going to fetch both basics here. I don't want to get randomly wastelanded. Definitely need to make them have... Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. They didn't activate Bazaar? So they have a second Bazaar? They had 3 Bazaars. They they had 3 Bazaars. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So they get a chill and a ghoul, and then we priest them, and then we have to beat a ghoul. I think we'll be okay, but too funny. Yeah, I don't want to have to respond or anything here. So their Molda 3 contained 3 Bazaars. That's always interesting. They lost 2 Sickening Shoals to Powder. Next turn, we can just go Thrall and Dreadnought. We'll be pretty good. Yeah, I mean, we're going to win this game because my opponent mulliganed, but... Yay! Dredge. Isn't everyone happy I'm back? Isn't everyone happy that Dredge tripled in metagame share after the restriction? Isn't everyone happy? We're all happy here, right? It just doesn't even feel good to win. Sadly. They dredged against the Containment Priest? Banger. They milled a Sickening Shoal because they dredged. Too funny. Too funny. I assume Thrall Dreadnought will just lock the game up after, yeah? What's the plan, Stan? I got 4 Containment Priests in my sideboard. Just a casual 8 cards come in. Very normal. That snap misstep was so brutal, though. Crazy. So maybe they dredged back a black card so they would have a black card for Sickening Shoal, but don't you, like, draw cards first, and then once you have the Sickening Shoal, you dredge back the black card? So you don't mill over your 3rd Sickening Shoal. Don't know. I'm not a necromancer. What do I know? Ow. Okay. Throw. Your move, opponent. I don't even know what else to say. The game was played in the mulliganing phase. Ugh. Wasn't it nice when this was a thing only like 6% of the time instead of 16% of the time? Ancestral Recall confirmed worse than, like, that's the whole thing of Dredge. Like, Ancestral Recall is worse than casting Pithing Needle and Containment Priest because of because of Dredge. Isn't that just wild? My opponent is just randomly dredging. Hey, look, there's the 4th Sickening Shoal. What is the plan here? Oh, am I gonna get Creeping Shield out of the game? Is that the plan? No, you don't have enough Creeping Shields to do that. I don't understand. I'm gonna draw some cards because it's fun. I'm not even wastelanding you. What's the point? I'm not even attacking, right? There's like no reason to attack. 1, 2 chills. I'm at 9. I just hold open my Force and my Fluster. They can't bring anything back. They have no Noxious. They have no Sickening Shoals left. I guess they could theoretically Noxious Revival a Sickening Shoal if they had. Nope, they've used all their Noxious Revivals. So they can't ever get rid of this Containment Priest. So nothing can enter the battlefield from the graveyard. They have 2 Creeping Shells left, but I am at 9 life. I don't know what the plan is from the opponent's side of here. Okay. I'll sit here. I'll cast my Lurrus. I'll play my Needle. I'll just sit here for 11 turns while you draw out, so. Riveting vintage Dredge gameplay. All right, round 3, vintage challenge versus Karate Dom. Also probably playing multiple matches of Magic right now. I've got a cat. I have a this hand is good as long as my opponent doesn't play Dredge. Like, I have to keep this hand, right? Pretty sure I'm gonna Esper Lurrus. Eh. I don't think Lurrus is good here. Pass. Just let me play Magic, bro. All right, so I want to consign to memory this, right? I let it happen, and then I counter the reveal part of it. Because if I play Thrall, that means they get a 3/2. Because if I Thrall, then the Evoke doesn't trigger, and they get a random 3/2 for no reason. Whereas if I consign, I can just counter the grief part of it. I don't even know if this is like that good or anything. It's just a thing to do with my spells. It lets me like Swords a follow-up hollow one, basically. Obviously, if I were to throw, it would, I could keep my force up, but then I have to also deal with a grief, which I don't feel like I'd like to do. I'm just gonna replicate this once. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna lose this game unless I immediately draw Wasteland, so I don't know why I'm thinking that hard. I guess I can draw a Dreadnought off the top. That might technically do it. I can't just like my opponent has enough range where they could play other decks that are not Dredge. So I have to keep my hand that's like generically good against the field. Artifacts and creatures don't cause. All right. I don't think buying Lurrus is any good here. Rather just play Thrall. I need to draw Wasteland though. Or Dreadnought. One of those would have been good. What do we do? I mean, we have to hope we draw good cards before we get too overwhelmed. They don't have the best dredgers at the moment, so. Dredge 3. All right, they hit 2 amalgams and a chill. I can stop the amalgams from coming into play with the Thrall. Another chill. Another Bazaar. I guess my Wasteland wouldn't have mattered. Now I don't think we can win. Maybe I can Swords the Icarid. Is that better than swordsing right now? The good news is the Amalgams aren't coming in. I'd rather use my mana. How many chills did they use? 3. So there's 1 chill and a pile of Icarids that I need to beat. As long as the Thrall stays in play, the Amalgams don't come in. Maybe it's winnable? Takes 6. It's not very good. Is their last card Mental Misstep? Or are they just like playing the modern match? You probably can't Mental Misstep this anyways because you gotta play around a Dreadnought, which would be winning. No, like if we do the math here, if the Thrall doesn't leave play, all I have to do is beat the 4 Icarids. I mean, that's not really, it's not very easy to do either, so. Not if I draw forces, man. Not if I draw forces. Kind of need to draw Ancestral Recalls and Dreadnoughts. A Dreadnought would be very good here. I'm taking 6 this turn. Yeah, it's not enough. It's not going to be enough. I need to draw Dreadnought next turn, maybe. I needed a good draw there. Ancestral Swords, Dreadnought. Ponder. Maybe a Dress Down buys me a turn against the Icarids. I guess theoretically, Dreadnought. I could Icarus, I could Dress Down loop inside of beginning of combat. Sometimes it turns off my throw. I don't know. Like it all comes down to like, can I draw cards that do anything though? And unfortunately, the cards that do anything are just fewer and far between because my opponent's on Dredge. This would be a pretty quick match. Karate Down plays pretty fast if we had if we could outlaw double queuing challenges, but something we're stuck with. I really wish they hadn't made so many challenges, but I don't know. I get it. I understand why it occurs. It just especially when I'm not doing like a huge amount of editing, it makes for a rough time for YouTube viewers. The problem is like if you were locked from joining a second challenge, you would just make another account, right? And you would just play on the second account. Like, sure, it's an extra barrier, but I don't know how much it would actually stop the people who are playing multiple challenges from playing multiple challenges. All right, Icarid on the stack. Dredge the whole deck, basically, with the Golgari Grave Troll. I guess I do have to beat the Narcomoebas, too. That's a problem. Yeah, I guess I can't win from here. Well, I don't know. Maybe Ancestral has some series of draws that help. Maybe they can draw out. That's the last Creeping Chill. 3 of the Narcomoebas. 2 of the Icarids. Another Dredge 6 is coming. 11 cards in library. I'm going to be at 4 health. Didn't hit any more Icarids. 11 cards left. Oh, the last Creeping Chill brings back another Ghoul. That's really bad for me. All right, well, I really needed a spell that mattered there, but yeah. I did not draw cards in this game. I'm at least happy that I didn't draw a Wasteland to have my opponent immediately play a second Bazaar. That would have block, take 7, 8, 9. I'm just dead here. Does like making my opponent play here to give me any outs? I just like makes them think about Ancestral or Swords, I guess. If I had a Sword, is it enough? If I had a Dress Down, is it enough? I dress these down, then I don't gain life gain. So I technically would go to 1 if I had a Dress Down. If I had a Swords, I could Swords, Silver Smote, block. I would die. Oh no, I gain life. I might live at 2 and lose my Lurrus. I guess there's like I can't win this game obviously, but I feel like there's a series of plays that you could respect here. I'm kind of interested to see like if Karate Dom doesn't dredge too far, or maybe it's like not a good use of the time. But there are like definitely intricacies to this set of the spot. Oh, this spot is what I guess what I'm trying to say. It's kind of cool that Doorkeeper Throw stopped all these amalgams from killing me, but my opponent had a little bit too many other cards that came in. Yeah, so they were smart. They only dredged a little bit. They got a third Icarid in their yard, 6 cards, so they can't get Ancestraled out. That's kind of what I wanted to see. You gotta respect the Dom. The Dom, solid player. Yeah, you got me. Brainstorm. Time Walk. That's not enough. All right, so again, we board 8 cards in. We board our fun cards out. Oh, we board 9 cards in. Classic. We board out 1 island, 1 probe, 1 were we boarding out negation? We were boarding out thralls and dreadnoughts and dress downs. Something like that. Maybe I kept in 3 dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts are good if I can put them in play. They're a little hard to get into play, but maybe like you could cut dig through time because it costs so much, but I think this is what we want to do. All right, on the play versus Dredge. I have a cat. I have a Wasteland and a Saga and Force and Ancestral and Containment Priest. Yeah, I mean, that one's got to be good enough. I wonder if we're like not supposed to play the Saga because it triggers and they can have a Vigor. I do kind of feel like that's the case, but I actually think that is the case. It's kind of weird. Classic Saga downsides coming into play. I kind of want to keep this force the best I can, so to protect my Containment Priest. I don't want to have to like force a Force of Vigor here on my Saga. Or like a Grief. Yeah, unfortunately I can't consign this Grief because my Wasteland is... Neither of my lands produce blue mana, but... If they force back, then I lose my Containment Free. Alright. I definitely don't want to lose my Tundra mana, so let's cycle here. And then they get to choose between Ancestral or Containment Priest. So they had blue card Force, black card Grief, Bizarre, and 3 unknowns. Seems good. I assume they're going to take Containment Priest, leaving us with Ancestral Wasteland. They took Ancestral. I mean, that means they have an answer to Containment Priest. It's not great. It's not good for me. They pitched Vigor Negation, have a hollow one card. I see. They don't have any dredgers, which is why they took Ancestral. So they're not even like using dredgers here. Don't think I want a Wasteland then. Definitely wish I had a Saga active here. I could get a Saga going and not crack Wasteland. Doesn't sound right. Well, I'll just get this while it resolves. They have 1 card. So now they just draw naturally. We do need to be an active hollow one, but we have Lurrus and Saga, so should be able to do that. Wasteland this Bizarre. Don't give them the opportunity to do anything with that. I doubt they have Vigor green card after pitching Vigor here, but they could. They have Vigor green card here. It's pretty interesting. No, I'm gonna buy Lurrus. Buy Lurrus, attack, go to 11. Make a construct, hopefully. They pitched a Vigor, so I'm like pretty hopeful they don't have another Vigor. But we'll have to see. They pitched a Vigor and they pitched a Negation, which is both are very interesting. So they have like reactive spells in their hand. I just don't know what kinds. Because they obviously don't have any dredgers in their hand. Or maybe they have a dredger they drew for turn that one turn, but I'm never blocking. So attack. At some point, though, if they don't have any dredgers in their yard, I can just block this hollow one every turn with the Containment Priest and replay it with Lurrus. Obviously, I need to like get a mana to play Lurrus, but I have enough time here, so I feel like I'm in a good spot as long as I don't get Vigored, and I don't think they have Vigor, so maybe they're kicking themselves for not keeping Vigor, but I only have, 1 Saga in my deck. All right, they're off it. Fair enough. All right. We try again, I guess. Would they keep a 7 in that game on the draw? Yeah, they kept a 7. Did they keep a 7 in both games? Yeah, they kept 2 7s. So now it's time to mulligan, right? That's how it works. Okay. I have a cat. I have Lotus, Containment Priest, Force. Okay. Sure hope they don't have Grief, Force of Will again. They kept 7? No, they kept 6. Okay, 6 is better than 7, for sure. Oh, there's a Grief. Oh. Bazaar up to 5, down to 2, 3 to the yard, 1 dredger, no hollow ones. Found a tundra. So I can either play around Mindbreak Trap or play around another force. I feel like I should play around Mindbreak Trap. Or, I mean, I can play around Sickening Shoal by... what I'm saying is I can ponder and look for a force. But that plays into Mindbreak Trap. I guess I can just wait on the Containment Priest if I miss. Tabernacle Swords. Are there any cards I want to keep in this hand? If my Containment Priest doesn't work out, what is Tabernacle actually good? Because I can shuffle away the other cards. Or is Swords better than Tabernacle? Or are any of these cards good? It's kind of an interesting question. It's not like they have hollow ones. Like, Swords and Tabernacle are both fine, but do we want to keep them? We do have the ability to keep one no matter what, which is nice. Maybe I just keep Swords? I feel like Swords is like so... I kind of hate these cards. I don't feel like they're progressing the game plan in the way that I want. Okay, I got Swords anyways. Two cards from my opponent. Definitely gonna wait till they dredge and something happens to play Containment Priest. Obviously, I showed them some things by cracking and uncracking Lotus, but I would probably say I gave away Containment Priest at least. Dredge, Creeping Chill. Okay. I guess this lets them hold a force, so I should probably have responded to this Bazaar activation. Probably gonna not cast this Containment Priest here. Interesting. Very interesting. Sweet. Get rid of Dreadnoughts. Get rid of land. Wasteland. If they pass back to me with the Icarid on the stack, I guess they're always going to be passing back to me with the Icarid on the stack. Unless they have a Noxious. If they have a Noxious. Alright. Hopefully they don't have Force Blue card at this point, but I did wait a really long time on this Containment Priest, so... I guess I have Sickening Shoal? Jeez. Okay. So they have 0 cards. They're going to bring back an Icarid and Dredge and bring back an Amalgam. I have a Swords. They have a Dredge, 1 Dredger. Hit a Chill. Hit a Golgari Grave Troll. Hit a second Icarid. Hit another Amalgam. Okay, I mean, he's a beast. He's a beast. I guess I should have kept that Tabernacle. That's crazy. That's so bad for me. 2 swords. Yeah, I don't know. Can only return 1 Icarid. Oh, go to 7. Hit another amalgam? Eh? All right, I need a Containment Priest off the top here. Containment Priest is winning. I feel like Dig Through Time doesn't do it. I take Icarid, they dredge. Or are they out of dredgers? No, they have another dredger. Can I even cast Dig here? Like, there's no 2-card combination that gets a Containment Priest into play. I have a Soul Guide Lantern, so I could hit land Soul Guide Lantern. Land Soul Guide Lantern is a winning 7 cards. Ponder like only is really hitting. Oh, I think I'm losing this game. That's crazy. There's Containment Priest, but I don't have enough mana to play it. So I'm gonna die. No, man. I don't know. Landmox doesn't do anything. Oh, I put that in the wrong order. Whoops. Lotus is in my graveyard. But I appreciate the thought. This game is frustrating. Maybe I should have played that Containment Priest earlier. Don't know if it would have mattered, though. All right, I take 6. I have to hope to dodge all of the Creeping Chills in their deck. I'm just dead. I'm just dead, man. Because next turn I need to have... Like, I need to dodge all the Creeping Chills this turn, and then I need to be able to deal with Prize Amalgam, and I need to be able to... Oh, wait. It was only 1 Icarid? Let's see. So I go to 1. I have to beat an Icarid and an Amalgam and any Creeping Chills. Dreadnought. That's so bad. Containment Trees buys a turn, but then I die on the following turn, right? Containment Priest buys a turn because the Icarid can't come back, and I chump block. But I can't buy Lurrus, and I'll only have 5 mana. So Containment Priest just doesn't do it. But what does it then? I mean, it has to be now Ancestral. I think I played this game poorly, but I also like the Dredge the one Dredge that they did in this game was so bad for me. It was like what, double Amalgam, Icarid, Grave Troll. Okay. It's still alive. No. I make a 12-12 and die? I mean, I lost. I just like represent a swords here, but he's not gonna play around that. Man, I really needed one more card that did something here. Oh, he played around it. He's gonna try to dredge for a creeping chill. Let's go. Never concede. Never concede. Well, now I regret not buying Lurrus, but they're out of dredgers. I think we just win the game, right? There's no more dredgers. There's no more creatures. There's nothing in the yard anymore. Uh, can I attack? So if I attack and then I trade with Lurrus, oh, then he can eat the Icarid and bring it back. So I can't attack? They go to 5, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can attack once I bring back the Containment Priest. I don't think I can attack this turn because I can block. I attack, I block, but then I can't attack on the next turn because the Icarid can eat the prized amalgam. And I can't bring back Containment Priest because my Lurrus is dead. But I guess I would be at 4. So I could attack if I want to trade Lurrus. So I can attack 3 times by blocking and then taking an Icarid hit, going to 1. I guess I just can, right? I don't know what cards are in their hand. A bunch of dredgers, right? They could draw Creeping Chill. They can draw, sorry, Sickening Shoal off the top. I think I just wait 1 turn here. Oh, I have a Flusterstorm. Okay, then I probably should have attacked. They draw Bazaar of Baghdad. Oh, I think Karate Dom had this match and just gave it to me, right? They could have eaten the Thug and attacked for 6 through my 1 block. Like, obviously it loses to me having swords. But I didn't have it. I'm surprised. This is really good. It would stop a chill. There's only 1 chill left in the deck. I'm pretty sure we weren't supposed to win that. Am I crazy? I guess that's why you don't concede. I was almost going to concede. Okay, round 4, Vintage Challenge. On the play, have a cat. Ooh, another cat? Cat mirror? This is interesting. I've been waiting to play a cat mirror. All right, cat mirror. I've got Mad Wastelands. Okay. I assume that's a keep for the cat mirror. I have to fetch a Tundra here, huh? It's kind of unfortunate. Can I fetch a basic island? I guess I can fetch a basic island. I mean, I don't have to cast Lurrus right away. I want to use this Ponder before... Interesting. I don't really like these cards very much. But I guess Merchant Scroll is fine. I just don't want to draw 2 of these. Are these better than random cards? I feel like these cards are not better than random cards. Am I crazy? I don't really want these cards. Perfect. I mean, I guess they were better than a land. I guess they were better than a land. This has to be a basic planes, though. Wow. Whoa. All right, calm down there. Oh, calm down. Calm down. That's all of your Moxen. They only play 3 Moxen. Esper Lurrus? Sheesh. I drew the planes. No. No. All right. I mean, this ponder went very poorly for me. I just have mono lands. My opponent had mono Moxen. I have mono lands. Who came out on top? Hint. Wasn't me. Unless they have no more lands, I guess. Then maybe it was fine. No. Well, they're not going to play Lurrus. They're running directly into my next wasteland. Perfect. Man, I wish I had a merchant scroll at this point in life. Ooh, an ancestral. Wasteland. All right, definitely I'm not casting this ancestral into a possible Bowmaster here. Another one. I'm out of wastelands, chat. Yeah. Okay. You got a 3-2. Kind of want to end step address down. I guess I don't have any reason to end step address down. Like, I don't want to play this ancestral into a spell pierce for no reason. Swords. Should I just bounce this Lurrus, though? I feel like bouncing the Lurrus is better. Oh, they're going to play the Lurrus again? All right. Well, now I can just play Ancestral at some point here. I don't have any backup for my Ancestral, though. Soul Guide Lantern. Sure. If they have another land, they can crack it and play their Lurrus. And should probably crack it first. Pass. So a problem here is if I go Ancestral and they have a Spell Pierce, they have a Bowmaster and a Spell Pierce. It's like kind of annoying, right? I guess I have a Swords. I think this is fine. They have a hard casting. Oh, they just have a mental misstep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. I'm just drawing a lot of lands. Things are not good. Play Lurrus? They're not even gonna play Lurrus? That's kind of confusing. Don't you want to play Lurrus here? All the basics. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to play Dress Down yet either, so... I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to play Lurrus either. This is magic. This is peak legacy. Wait, wrong format. White. Black. Lorien revealed. All right, they have found another land. Thanks, Sum. Thanks. I don't really want to cycle my Dress Down, though. Am I crazy? How do I get my Lurrus to resolve? Oh. We'll keep waiting. Play the long game. Blue-black. Psychic Frog. Okay. Swords, your Psychic Frog. Negation. All right. In response to negation, cast Dig Through Time. Actually, I don't think I have any flusters in my deck, do I? Force my Dig Through Time. Pitching Force. Pretty sure this is cast Dress Down. Time Walk. Let this resolve. Cast Lurrus. Cast Time Walk. Cast... force this. Get me 2 digs. Force this is pretty good. Urza's Saga Ponder. I guess that's what we're doing. Okay. So far, I feel like we've navigated this pretty well. Looking for another swords at this point. Okay. And then we have Dress Down loops as well. Ponder first. 1, 2, 3. I'm not gonna be able to hold up Caracas and Swords the Frog. I don't technically have to Swords the Frog because the Dress Down should just be in play though. I guess when the Dress Down goes away, they could pitch a bunch of cards to the Frog, but that's not even bad for me. Dreadnought Thrall. Negation. What if I just don't play Lurrus? Play Lurrus. Right, I can't swords and have Caracas up. But I can just replay a new dress down, though. I'm not sure which is the best. But the dress down doesn't draw me a blue card. So I have to hold up negation this way. Yeah, I want to play around. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to swords this. And hold up negation for a push. I don't know if this is good. Kind of seems bad. I feel like I'm losing my dress down loop for no reason. I don't know. I kind of hate this line, but I don't know what the... I'm not patient enough. Dress down loop's not very good if I'm making constructs either. But is this negation actually going to do anything, though? Yeah, I was just too greedy. I was way too greedy on the way I played this out. But it should be fine, but I shouldn't, like, I shouldn't play Lurrus at all. I think the answer is I swords the thing and I just pass. I feel like playing Lurrus was just bad. When I have an active Caracas, like, there's just not a good reason for me to do that. Yeah, I should have just trusted myself there. I mean, I have constructs coming, and I have a doorkeeper and a dreadnought coming, so it's like not like I'm losing, but I just should have held up all my mana. Like I played this game very under control, and I did really well for most of this game, and then the one turn that I think it really mattered, I just chose the wrong things. All right. Doorkeeper Thrall stops the ETB on Bowmaster. Wasteland's going to kill my Saga. It's very frustrating. They still have a Lurrus in their hand, right? So they actually get to kill the Caracas. Oh, wait. Am I going to lose this game then? Wow. Okay. I mean, if they don't kill the Doorkeeper Thrall, though, I get constructs and 2 dreadnoughts, so maybe it's fine. So what do they get? They just have a Soul Guide Lantern. I played this game badly, and I can get punished for it. It's really just a one turn mental lapse. Oh, the ETB got stopped by the Doorkeeper Thrall. That's cute. So do we think their last card is a Fatal Push? Because I can go for double Phyrexian Dreadnought here. Oh, I guess they have to push before I get it, right? Sweet. They can loop this Bowmaster, but it doesn't have an ETB. Oh, are they going to Twister me? Shouldn't die to a Twister. Looks at their top card. Could draw it with Lantern. Does the Esper version play Twister? Look at my top card. They're gonna need to draw a bunch of removal spells. I played so poorly. So sad. All right, they draw 2. What was our next card? Oh, it got shuffled. All right, I will attack. I guess a dress down would be really good here if they had a dress down. Block, block. I mean, they're taking 24 trampling damage. You got to have some removal spells here. Yeah, snap. Oh, wait. Snap Swords doesn't work because of Thrall. Oh, man, this Thrall was so good. Wow. I almost lost this game because of how badly I played. Though my opponent did find the Wasteland the turn they needed to kill the Caracas, so I played that game not well. So, all right, I like Flusterstorm here, but I don't really like Negation. I like Soul Guide Lantern, but I don't really like. I guess Needle is okay. Do I actually have like bad cards in this matchup? I don't feel like I do. Maybe I take out like Emerald Ruby. Seems reasonable. All right, 12/12s did the job in that game. Yeah, these are magic cards. Wasteland. Vexing Bauble. I don't think I care about Vexing Bauble. This holds up Mental Misstep, and then I can go get my basic. Oh, I guess I can't get a Plains off of this. Oh, they have a Saga. So what happens if I counter this, chat? They can't make mana? I don't want that, though. I want to counter the second ability, right? Soul Guide Lantern. I don't think I care about. I like want to counter Swords to Plowshares and Ancestrals. I guess what we'll do is we'll fetch a basic island and then Lorien revealed for a basic island. I wanted to fetch a basic Plains there, but I just didn't have it. Should I like play my own Saga here to make them Wasteland me? Does that make any sense? But I always can dress down. I think I'm gonna play the Saga out. Like, they can't play a 0-drop into me, so... Okay. I feel like this is fine. Maybe not. I could always consign the search, too, if I wanted to. Is there anything that I would want to misstep on this turn? I guess if they just, like, untapped and Ancestraled. Kind of want to cast Ponder right now. Black Lotus Pondered Swords. Yeah, I probably want these cards. Obviously, the Black Lotus is countered by the Bauble currently, but I don't feel like they're going to keep the Bauble in play forever. I feel like the Bauble is helping me more than hurting me at the moment. But I always feel that way, so what do I know? What I don't want to happen is I get Bowmaster, though. But I guess I have a sword at the moment. I'm almost regretting the Saga play. Them making constructs would have been a nice win for me. Maybe it was just, I shouldn't have done that. I guess I can bait a Bowmaster with Ponder Swords here. I don't think I like that very much. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah. Is there like any value to dressing down this Bowmaster instead? The problem is they just resolve whatever they want if I do that. But what are they resolving though? This is probably just fine. Could counter this search. Kind of an interesting sequence. Are they resolving a frog? Yeah, that is definitely one of the downsides to this whole sequence. I'm drawing a Lotus. Kind of need to draw another Swords, but I do have a Ponder. Can always dress down. Didn't find another Swords. These cards are all terrible. Dig. Let's go to end step and dress down the frog. I feel like the choices I made in this game were too low value. Why is this bobble hurting me so badly? It's like Ancestral too, or Time Walk. Oh, yeah, Time Walk is basically the worst possible thing that could have happened to me. Time Walking might be like Time Walking to and Ancestral were definitely the two cards that were the worst for me there. Yeah, I played this game too greedy. I just should have been more cautious again. Oh, nice. Strip mine. Sick. Now I don't even have a blight source for a swords. Yep. I don't think needling a frog is good enough here. I'm hoping they like crack. I guess cracking and forcing does not help me. I guess it does help me, but classic, they have to crack to cast their spells. All right, well, we're free. That's nice. I don't think this is enough. If only I had a force that was stuck underneath my hand, too. Classic. Play this now. Like, this game is technically still winnable, but it's really hard. Opponent just drew a little bit better, I would say. And I chose some aggressive lines. That did not pay off. Caracas? No! Uh-oh. And double frog. Uh-oh. That's so bad for me. I draw a wasteland here. Merchant scroll. Alright, well. No, they drew a force too. I mean, they just drew so well. They just drew incredibly well in this game. I would never keep in negation versus me. That's crazy. I didn't play very well, though. They kept in Lavinia, too. I mean, I assume that I don't have, like, that many good cards to bring in, but still, like, some of these cards are incredibly suspect. Negation? You don't have targets. Like, what does negation hit in our deck that we care about? Absolutely nothing. It's a cancel. Would you play cancel? I wouldn't play cancel. It doesn't even hit the card that matters the most, which is the creatures. Like, the cards that matter in this matchup are not the like spells, and typically they're the creatures. Come on, game. I feel like I'm supposed to keep this hand, though. I'm pretty sure this is a keep, and I'm not exactly happy about it, but... Scrubland? We got a Scrubland? Okay. See you, opponent. I respect it. I do need an island, though. Perfect. They hid their Tundra behind a Scrubland. So smart. Uh-oh. Yup. Maybe I should cast this on upkeep. Force? Pitching negation because it's a dead card? Sure. Island. Thank you, game. Thank you. Imagine if they had to force my Ancestral Recall. They could have negated this. I cast it on my turn. Come on, man. Come on. What is this? Please don't have your one Flusterstorm. All right, okay. Got a Bowmaster? Yup. Their own Caracas. 3 cards in hand. Demonic Tutor! They're so good. I'm dead. Rip. gonna swords this. I need to be able to cast all these ponders next turn. They have a mental misstep for my ancestral, but I don't have a mental misstep for their ancestral. Don't you think that's a little unfair? Seems a little unfair. Why are we not casting it right now? Cast ancestral. I'm tapped out. You're gonna like let me untap and have Flusterstorm? Like what is the plan? This needle sucks. They're gonna do it now. They're not gonna do it now? Now I have Flusterstorm. I guess they can just wait till their turn. I guess they're just waiting till their turn? I'm so confused. Guess this is just fine. I guess I should just play Needle on Frog, right? Because I'm never going to play Needle on Wasteland or Caracas. They could have gotten Psychic Frog. That'd be pretty good here. No, they got Ancestral. Oh, opponent. Opponent, why did you do this? All right, I mean, I'll take it. They should have cast it on their turn after I tapped out. Like, you don't play around negation. They buy Lurrus now? No. What am I drawing? Like soul guides and stuff? God, what if they have a Bowmaster? Ah. Can't actually stop them from digging, so. I don't think I would Wasteland Sea. I think the Caracas is like a much more focal point for this game moving forward with my Lurrus coming. Maybe not. I don't know. Frog. Oh, I don't really even have good cards in my yard. I have a Doorkeeper Thrall. It's like kind of bad, isn't it? This is like really awkward spot. Because if they just have a removal spell for my Lurrus, I bounce my Lurrus, but then I take a frog hit. Is that good for us? Yeah, I mean, what if it gets countered? I guess if it gets countered, I'm just like, no matter what, right? Yup. Dress down. Yep. That's the plan. They probably just have swords after, though. feel like this one's so badly for me. Is Frog just too broken to play this deck? They have Hardcast Force. I know my next card's a land. That's not what I said. I said, is Frog too broken to play this deck? Though I haven't only drawn one of my swords. It's kind of unfortunate. I keep having to swords Bowmaster, which is like so bad. I'm pretty sure I want this Lorien revealed, so... They have Hardcast Force, huh? That's crazy. I just don't... What? Oh, no, they have Dig. Oh, that's even worse. I just feel like they have better cards than I do. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, right. It's not pay one. I mean, it only drew 2 cards. Like, I've drawn 2 cards off of, like, dress downs and stuff. It just... The cards I drew weren't good. Like, I've only drawn 1 swords in 22 cards. I mean, it might. They only have 2 cards. Like I said, it's not drawing like a million. Like, it's drawing a good amount of cards. But it's not drawing like a million cards. Do I want to fetch? I feel like I want to fetch. Like, if I draw swords on a frog right now, aren't I just winning? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have enough to time walk. Ugh. This is so bad. Should I just time walk first? Just not kidding. I mean, they probably top decked Hardcast Force again. Ah. Sounds about right. My opponent's so much. Like, aren't they so much better than me? Like, aren't they so much better than me? They're supposed to cast that on their turn, right? When they can resolve it? I don't know, man. I also just, again, drew no cards that mattered. In Urza Saga. We drew so poorly in this game, and our opponent drew only the best cards. No, I don't have anything that gets me out of this game anymore. I guess a sword is my best draw by far. It has been for a long time. I'm 29 cards in. I've seen 1 swords. That's so bad. I guess I just cast it now. In case I draw swords or something. Because I need it to go away before I make a construct to block. They sure, yeah, okay. Uh-huh. I'm not dead still. I still live another turn. Okay. Like, they drew a dead Lavinia. Why can't they do that? Like, if they drew that earlier in the game, I think we actually have the tempo to get through this game. My construct is, like, just too large or too small to trade with this thing. I kind of needed this Bowmaster not to happen. Strip mine! There's no way, man. My opponent ran their Ancestral into a Flusterstorm that they didn't have to, and I just got obliterated. Oh boy, that's too funny. I mean, we were gonna lose anyways. I don't think we can win the matchup if we draw one swords in the top 40 cards, right? Like, if our second swords is the 40th card of the game, I don't think we can win the game ever. I definitely could have played this match better. Like, don't get me wrong. I played not very well, but the difference in cards that I drew versus my opponent drew was quite substantial. Like, in the card quality. I don't know. There were definitely things we could have done better, though. All right, round 5. We were just looking at the last match, and there were some problems. Like, there were some things we could have done differently, but we were in pretty decent spots that just didn't really work out. Gonna keep this hand against a possible dual opponent with a negation and some wastelands. Totally reasonable hand. Yeah, I mean, the blue-black Lurrus deck plays Fatal Push as its main removal spell, so yes. Like, the main removal spell in Vintage is Swords of Plowshares, but if you don't have white, then obviously you can't cast that. But there was a spot where a chat wanted me to wasteland the Underground Sea, and I wastelanded the Caracas because I thought the game would go towards a Lurrus angle, and it just didn't end up that way. Or it did end up that way, but they had a force for my Lurrus. And I would like to mental misstep this Voltaic Key, but I don't have another blue card for my negation at the moment. That's it? Huh? Fatal Push hits basically everything in Vintage besides Hollow One. And Atraxa, I guess. Well, now I have a hard gas negation, but I couldn't afford to do it last turn. I mean, my opponent just like casts a ring and has a force. I just lose though, so. I guess I could buy Lurrus here. Because I'm never really using this key. Probably should just buy Lurrus here. Like, putting a Lurrus in play at least threatens to steal a jewel, theoretically, though pretty unlikely. And then I can always Caracas an opposing Lurrus copy. So it's probably just correct to put Lurrus in my hand. Just there are so few mental misstep targets in the opponent's deck anyways. Like, I would have definitely mental misstep the Voltaic Key if I had other blue card in my hand. Maybe I wouldn't definitely, but I would at least consider it. And it's not like my opponent plays Flusterstorms or Spell Pierces because they don't have blue mana in their deck. Or they don't have a lot of blue mana in their deck, I should be more specific. Workshop. Just jam a jewel. Jam a ring. I mean, I have a negation. Do you have a force? Yep. I lose. Pretty sure I can't beat that. Not with a key. I mean, not much I could have really done differently. I kept a hand that made sense. Just didn't really work out. It's not like I can even cut them off on mana efficiently here. And they'll draw another 5 cards next turn. Don't have a needle in my main. Doorkeeper Thrall. I guess that's like theoretically a way I can win this game. Not really though. Like they play a jewel and I throw it. It's more likely to win than playing Lurrus here, so guess they have an active mana crypt. And I don't see myself winning this game, but I'll give it a shot. Thanks, Laugh and Broccoli. I think I'm willing to show Thrall just to give myself a chance to win. They only have 3 Force of Wills left in their deck, so it's not 100% guaranteed that they have a force for it either. They're just playing a new ring. That is the safer method. Yeah. I think I'm still going to play a Thrall, though. Oh, they hit the Force blue card. Jesus. Okay. If I draw a Mox, I can still play it from my yard with Lurrus. That is, that does do the thing. All right. I'd like to cast Doorkeeper Thrall. They have an active mana crypt. I don't really think that's going to be enough, but could be. On the flip. Notably not great for me. Draw a million. Found an academy. Draw a million. Play another key. Draw a million. 16 cards in hand. I mean, we turned off Jewels. They can obviously play Metamorphs and copy. The minute they find Tinker or Time Vault. I mean, they play a new ring. Oh, they have PO. Okay. Yeah. All right. It is what it is. Didn't think we were going to win that game, but had to give ourselves a chance. We've got Null Rods, we got Needles, we got Seal of Cleansing, we've got Hercule's Recall, and we've got Negation number 2. I'm going to leave in some amount of Swords to Plowshares here. I'm going to take out probably 2 basics at least. Dress Down's still good. Consign's obviously crazy good. We just like didn't have a good enough hand. Like we couldn't mulligan our hand, but our hand wasn't good enough. Maybe I'm gonna mulligan, put out some of the swords. Like all of our the consigns are good. Dress Downs are good. Doorkeeper Throws are good. All these cards are really good. Probably don't even want Dreadnoughts that much. Maybe we don't actually just want any like when we have 1 Dreadnought. They have Metamorphs and stuff. I feel like we should be able to win this game by playing Null Rod Control. All right, Null Rod Control. Keep. Another one of those polarizing vintage decks. Did you stack your sideboard cards? 7 card keep from the opponent. All right, Mox, Null Rod, force backup. Should be winning the game. Swords beats creature pivots from them. Yeah, force. Null Rod. Resolves. Now they can't play. Unless they have Academy. Ancestral's probably better than buying Lurrus. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's this matchup. You find a Null Rod, you cast it, and you win. Excellent. Bring back the Lurrus mirror where I made a misplay and lost because of it. All right, so now the question will be, can we find a 7-card keep that has a turn 1 Null Rod with force again? Highly unlikely, to be fair. We have only 2 Null Rods. Did I keep in 7 again, or what's the plan? I want a cat. Gimme. I have a cat. Force, Consign, Needle, Thrall is pretty good. It's not Null Rod, but it's pretty good. Needle Ring, Thrall, the The Jewel, force their first play, have Consign up. Not bad. Oh, this is a keep. I'm definitely keeping. These are like the good cards, right? Like Consign, Doorkeeper, Needle, Force. You know, they're not Null Rod. They're not insta-win, but they're good. Opponent multi 6. Yeah, I'm never like mulliganing this. Like I only have 2 Null Rods in my deck. I can't ask for more. Urza Saga. Uh-oh. Urza Saga is quite good here. I'm gonna have to needle it. Unless I have finally dressed down. I want to needle the One Ring, but having their 1 Saga, doesn't this feel even worse than them having 4 Sagas? If I had a dress down in hand, I wouldn't, but I think I have to just needle the Saga. Just have to hope that these forces keep me alive against the rings. Minamo. Soul Ring. I'm not countering that. Blue card's better. That's it? It was all in on the 1 Saga? Oh, we were gaming. Ooh, do we Seal of Cleansing the Saga? Or does that even matter at this point? I feel like we hold up our spells instead. Doorkeeper, Thrall, and Consign, and... they're so good here. Oh, I probably need a fetch in response, just in case they brought a needle in. I mean, they don't really have a lot of options here. Sensei's top. I didn't know they had a Sensei's top. It's pretty good here. If I knew they had a Sensei's top, would I have sealed? Tough to say. Kind of want them to just play a 1 ring. Play a Doorkeeper Thrall, steal the 1 ring, win the game. Sink into Stupor, tapped. Man, definitely going to use my mana. Probably on just play a seal here. Gotta be a little bit worried about PO from this spot. My opponent does have 4 artifacts and a bunch of blue mana. Spinning to winning. Interesting keep for my opponent. I'm a Wasteland deck, so like keeping an all-in hand that was on Saga is pretty bold. Tinker? That's a pretty good one. Wait, what do they tinker for here? A ring? I guess I can't beat a ring because I had to name Saga on my needle. If I get a Lurrus, I can Seal of Cleansing my needle and replay my needle on a ring. This is good, though. Means one less thing they can PO back. All the jewels are dead. Pretty sure I'm supposed to fetch so I don't run out of fetchables. Null Rod. Seems good. Yep, and then my opponent was not able to play the game. And the peasants rejoiced. Yay. You got it. 1 card in hand. Their entire deck doesn't do anything. Attacked for 18 turns and then dies. Can I buy a Lurrus here? I guess like I don't really want to like have to force some things, but I mean they have mana. They can cast spells. Academy is obviously fine, but it doesn't really matter too much. Oh, PO? Like a beast? Sink into stupor on my null rod. Do I care? I don't think I care. Okay. You've got one spell. Is it good? Is not good. Well, that seems bad for you. I don't know. Ancestral? Dig? Consign? Does it matter? Don't think they get to play the game here. At some point, I just start looping the seals too. Just picking some stuff off. If I ever get to the point in this game where I seal of cleansing my own needle so that I can replay needle on the One Ring, that's just peak gaming. I wonder if getting a second consign there is like better than getting an ancestral. All right. I mean, yeah. You can see my hand if you like. I don't know. This is just jewel shops. If you respect jewel shops, you play the cards, you win the game. You respect Dredge, you play the cards, you win the game. They're just deck building checks. Obviously, there's still some amount of variance, right? They can keep a 7 that beats you, or you mulligan and you don't find your cards. Like, it's a variance check and it's a mulliganing check and it's a deck building check. But there's like not much else going around inside that. All right, here we go. Sixth and final round, Vintage Challenge. We're in the 3-2 bracket again. Win and not into top 8, very likely. But if we win, we can probably top 16, which is an upgrade in prizes. So that's a thing we're trying to do. I have a cat. I've got an interesting one. A little bit of an interesting one here. We got the old turn 1 Doorkeeper Thrall, turn 2 Dreadnought Wasteland. This could be good against some decks. Could be bad against some decks. Depends on what the deck we play against is. Well, I think it's good against Dredge. It's good against Oath. Well, maybe it's not good against Oath. Maybe it's okay against Oath. It's bad against, it's like okay against Jewel if they're a Jewel hand. It looks like they're a Dredge. They're on a mull to 4. I think so. I think I would keep this. If it didn't have a Mox, I would obviously mulligan it. But I think the Wasteland covers you enough versus the the non-cat decks that you are worried about here, not me. But I don't fault you if you wanted to put it back. I guess theoretically, if they're on Bazaar and they take my Dreadnought, I am left with not very much, but oh, I would not keep this on the draw. Agreed. Well, oh, we are on the draw. That seems like the missing. I thought we were on the play. I gotta get back used to streaming, huh? 4 hours in, my mind has turned to mush. I don't know if I think my opponent is on. Oh, they are on Chancellor of the Annex. Uh-oh. Chancellor's really annoying here. This Doorkeeper Throw is actually pretty good against mono white, but wait, what? They only have 1 card left after that? Are they just passing? Oh. Wish I could Wasteland them here. Oh. So I just throw a Mox into the Chancellor so that I can play a Doorkeeper Throw? Now if they play an initiative creature this turn, it gets stopped. The trigger gets stopped by Thrall. Well, Dreadnought costing 3 mana is not actually a problem, which is pretty funny. Am I supposed to get Tundra here? I can probably get Tundra here. Also, that's an enters trigger, right? Oh. Oh my. Nope. Oh, it's an okay, you're right. It's an enters trigger, so yep. No! Come back! I wanted to play my 3 mana Dreadnought. Oh! Yeah, unfortunately, mono white initiative is liable to mulligan issues. We already have our 4 swords in the main. I like a negation on the draw here, maybe, but do they play swords nowadays? I feel like they play swords again, right? Not all of them. Wow, wait. Oh, 4 swords in the main of that one. 2 swords in the main. 4 swords in the main. Like, I think mental if they have 4 swords, then mental misstep is definitely worth it. Is there a card here that sucks? I'm talking specifically mental misstep, just because of specifically swords because of mental misstep is what I'm thinking. I don't know if there's a card I want to cut here for a second negation. Just on the draw. Some are, some aren't, it looks like. Doesn't look like there's a consensus on a new mono white build. Consign. On the draw, consign. Yeah, that makes sense. On the play, consign seems like it'd be good. But on the draw, consign does seem bad, yeah. All right. Cat. On the draw, Force Saga Lorien. Probably just a keep. Obviously, this hand is pretty bad into a Chancellor, but no Chancellor. Okay. What kind of Moxen you got here? Chrome Mox sounds too good for me. All right. Success. Do we just time walk first? Kind of think we do. Watch my Saga get marched. Yeah, I like Explore here because it'd be like hard to get a ton of time walk value with constructs. Fetch Mox pass. Certainly interesting as well. Worked out pretty well for me here though. That one draw was quite good. Yeah. I understand the idea behind set up a time walk. So they are gonna march my Urza Saga. Damn. Definitely forcing that. You have an Ancient Tomb. Have a Lotus Petal. Have an Ancient Tomb. Have a Seasoned Engineer. Oh no! The Thrall! The Thrall! This card has been pretty good. I think my evaluation of how this fares into the metagame makes sense. Oh man, too good. Yeah, I mean, I think Natmi's line has merit for sure. Caracas. Thalia. Interesting. Thalia. I don't see myself trading here. Not with how big these are about to get. I do like fetching though. Maybe that's silly. I don't know why. I'd have to think about why I felt that way. I guess it's a Dreadnought, huh? Imagine if I could have 4 Sagas. uh... All right, let's go. This worked out pretty well, all things considered. All right, so we get a nice win there in the final round. My breakers are so bad, I don't think we're gonna stay on to to see the end here. Hopefully we'll go 4-2 up into top 16, get some nice points here. A 4-2 is not bad here. We beat Mono White, we beat 2 Dredge players, we beat Jewel, and then we lost to Lurrus and Fastbond. The Lurrus matchup felt winnable. I had some serious, I think, play mistakes in the Lurrus matchup. And then obviously I kept a really bad hand in the Fastbond matchups. But overall, I would say a fairly strong performance from the deck. I am skeptical, though, because of how bad the Lurrus matchup felt at points. Maybe you need more removal. Like, maybe you have to play some prismatic endings in the sideboard. Maybe 4 swords is just, like, not enough. That's a possibility. Seems like it could be true. But I think the concept of what this deck is doing seems reasonable to me. Lurrus is obviously very strong. I thought that Doorkeeper Thrall, Dress Down, and Consign were all very main deckable cards that comboed with the Dreadnought and the Dreadnought itself, when it was in play, of course, won the game every time. Ponder was okay. Lorien was good. Swords was good. So yeah, I mean, in general, I think this idea that I had here for a Stiflenought vintage port that runs like the best anti-metagame combo pieces seems like it's solid. Like the Thrall was like legitimately great all day. It stopped a lot of things. Even the prize amalgams, stopping the prize amalgams from coming into play was pretty relevant too. So the sideboard probably needs work. Maybe the Tabernacles can just go. If people are only playing Dredge and not playing Countervine, I don't even think the Tabernacles are that good against Dredge. So maybe I would cut the Tabernacles and think about something like a prismatic ending to help the Lurrus matchup, maybe. I don't think we're Wrath of the Skysing just because I think it's a little narrower. I'd like the idea of prismatic endings though, so that might be it. Unsure. Hopefully somebody takes this idea and runs with it because I think it's a really cool deck. Definitely an interesting one though. The problem is if this deck isn't actually good into Lurrus decks, then that's a problem, right? That's a huge problem. So it might also depend on if it's blue-black or if it's Esper as well. I don't know if that is a huge point of contention for the matchup specifically. We just didn't get enough reps in. But obviously, Frog is a must-destroy, must-counter threat. So maybe simply having 4 swords and not having enough in your top 30 cards is too game-losing. So maybe you need to play a couple more answers. That's the thing that I'm thinking about. Hopefully you enjoyed this vintage content, even though it was filled with some Dredge players. I think we made the most of it. Did some cool things. we definitely had some interesting things happen during this event. More vintage content like this one on the YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.